It's Wednesday, April 12th. I'm Sarah Forgani with KENS 5 News Now. A close call on the northwest side when a man slammed his car into a staircase, barely missing some apartments. It happened around midnight on Parkdale near I-10. Police say the driver was sitting in his car and accidentally put the car in drive instead of reverse, then drove over a ledge and smashed into that staircase. Luckily, he did not hit any apartments and no one was hurt. The driver is not expected to face any charges. Meanwhile, emergency crews rescued another man trapped in his car after rolling it into a fence on the south side. When officers arrived to the area on Roosevelt near Wharton, they say the car was in a field and the driver was trapped inside with both his arms broken. Once first responders got him out, the man was taken to the hospital. Officers believe speeding is to blame for this rollover. The Boerne City Council has unanimously approved the new thoroughfare plan. It's the second of two controversial transportation measures the city has proposed. However, it comes with controversy because residents are afraid that it could lead to their property being taken away. A city spokesperson says Boerne has had a thoroughfare plan since 1974. He says the city has never used a mobility plan to seize private property through eminent domain. Mayor Ron Nirenberg is looking toward the future of San Antonio. He addressed community leaders during the State of the City.
So let's keep the momentum going, because it's that drive, shared by all, that has pushed this city toward greater equity and inclusiveness.
The mayor focused on workforce development, affordable housing, and the launch of the airport expansion. Nirenberg is hoping to secure a fourth and final term as mayor in next month's mayoral election. We're learning a lot more now about a Windcrest officer given an emergency dose of the life-saving drug Narcan after being exposed to a drug during a traffic stop. Tuesday morning, that officer pulled over a car near I-35 and 410. A Windcrest lieutenant tells us the officer came into contact with a powdery substance and her heartbeat began to increase rapidly, almost losing consciousness. When EMS arrived, they were able to administer Narcan. Police say the substance has been confirmed to be cocaine, and they're now testing it to see if it was laced with anything else. One suspect is facing charges for possession of a controlled substance. A young man is fighting for his life in the hospital right now after he was shot in the chest, then drove himself to a Whataburger. Police say the shooting happened at another location, but after he was shot, he drove to the Whataburger on Marbach, and when officers arrived at that restaurant, they didn't find anyone at the scene. However, witnesses told him that a white Mercedes in the parking lot belonged to the victim. Fire crews eventually found him at Lackland Air Force Base where his friend had dropped him off. Police say he's about 18 to 20 years old and still no word on a shooter or why he was shot. Neighbors are startled when a chase involving BCSO deputies comes to a crashing end. The driver, 36-year-old Anthony Davis, was wanted on several felony warrants related to evading arrest and domestic violence. Sheriff Javier Salazar said deputies had no time to pursue Davis, who zoomed up after spotting them. Moments later, Davis hit a speed bump and lost control, plowed into a fence, and flipped over on Adams Hill near Hunt Lane on the far west side.
Like the second time we've been hit. Last time it wasn't this bad. It was a little bit further down and they only knocked out like a panel.
That resident here telling us she's now working with her insurance company trying to once again rebuild her fence, but they're thankful no one was hurt. Happening today, the city's hosting a ribbon cutting to celebrate the opening of the newest affordable housing development on San Antonio's southwest side. Frontera Crossing is a 348-unit development reserved for residents earning between 30% and 70% of the area median income. It offers amenities including a resort-inspired pool, picnic area, playgrounds, and a community garden. The Baptist Health System also looking to hire nurses on the spot at a job fair event today. It is at the Stoneworks in the Vineyard Shopping Center off 1604. They're inviting newly graduated nurses to meet with hiring leaders. The health system says they have flexible start dates and qualified applicants can even be offered sign-on bonuses. A ring day tradition is happening today at the San Antonio Zoo. Texas A&M San Antonio is having its rings placed in the jaguar habitat. That's because they're the jaguars. Check out pictures from last year. These are the jaguars interacting with a box that's holding the rings for those graduates. Those rings will be watched over by the jaguars at the zoo for a full 24 hours. A Northeast ISD graduate is moving on up on American Idol. His name is Dawson Wayne. He officially cracked the show's top 26 artists this season. Dawson, who's a former Reagan High School student, got to perform on Monday's episode, and he told NEISD officials he's ready to see how far he can go. Starting next week, fans will be able to vote for their favorites, so be sure to follow Dawson on Twitter at It's Dawson Wayne. Totally rooting for Dawson. All right, let's check in with Paul now for today's forecast.
It's going to be a beautiful day, Sarah. We'll see those temperatures topping out upper 70s, around 78, 79. Lots of sunshine, mostly sunny. If you have anything planned this evening, temperatures mainly in the 70s, looking really good.
That's KENS 5 News now. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Sarah Fergani. See you tomorrow.